Well, hello, internets. Let me bring the peeps online. Um, so here we are. It's the 21st of September. Am I audible?
Yeah.
So are you, Nine. Walter.
You are silent as usual. I think I prefer him muted, actually.
This was the best ever, and it's me that muted him.
Oh, good.
Great.
Do we really need this voice?
Now,
No. Well, we do when me and Nine run out of insanely deep insights, which is like now. In any case, welcome to the stream.
yeah, amazing.
Yeah, we're
Here we
really
are.
excited over here. The Swedish excitement. But short, I am Nephente. I'm the vocalist of NETHERBIRD and RIKET, and I like music. And then we have Walter, Effess, and a connoisseur of the finer extreme metals and beyond, I'd say.
Thank you very much.
Great that you could join again. I'm grateful.
Thanks. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, and I think we can do a lot of damage as a trio.
Hopefully.
And then we have the man with the old Tiamat logo, Mr. Nine.
Yes, good morning.
Morning. And you are the vocalist of Wormwood and Withershin and more.
Yeah, it would seem so. Those are the two more important ones that I'm a part of at the moment.
Yep. And we constantly create new bands and we forget about them when we sober up. But I mean, who knows? You're also a quite regular vocalist in RIKET. When we,
I think we have been on, equal amount of live shows together with RIKET almost.
Yeah, I think so actually. So that's fun. We should do more of that. RIKET is sort of compatible with the current situation because it's never any risk of being more than 50 people when we play.
That's perfect. I mean, the more people, the worse it gets. Pre-corona, that is.
Yeah, exactly.
The ideal gig is without the band even.
Oh yeah. I mean, the best future would just be to not in a live stream, just to talk about playing live but never doing it.
That's the best part, and I mean, like we all dream about touring without gigs.
That would be amazing, actually.
I've been looking into it. Into if we were to rent a nightliner and then just go and not gig, but just go on vacation, 20 people.
No, we just let the roadies and the sound technician. Every night they need to just assemble everything, pack it, and then we just don't play. So
exactly.
They can work at least.
Everybody wins, and it's much easier to book a tour if there are no gigs, and also you don't need all the merchandise, and you don't need to rehearse so much either, which is I see only benefits.
Yeah,
I think we are onto something here.
We are onto something.
We need to trademark this straight away.
So we are like a trio, and so we can basically get the band without gigs going. We can talk about it and get it ready, I think, for next week. But we are not only amazingly, we're not just eye candy. We bring a lot of smartness to the internet.
An illusion of smartness.
Exactly. Not Corona, I think. But the theme of tonight is videos, and I don't know who the hell came up with the idea that we should talk about videos.
I think it was you.
Was it me?
I think it was.
think
let's blame the old guy. That's
right.
better.
No,
you, Doctor.
I think you earwormed that idea. If it was my idea, it wasn't my idea anyway. I think you have sort of put it there, Nine.
Yeah, I might be the culprit here, and I am sorry? ?
Yeah, sorry. Was it? I think it was. Charles Manson that they asked if he was sorry, and he's like, "I've been sorry all my life."
Yeah.
I mean, you can relate.
I'm always happy that there is a Charles Manson reference.
Yeah, and let's see, Matthias, and also, I mean, great to see people showing up in the chat, and I don't know if you guys can you see the chat as it is. Yeah, you can.
Yes, we can.
So that's nice. So there's a lot of people here. We'll just address it. Manic Death Metal. I don't know exactly where you're from. You're not Swedish, but you write in Swedish, which is fun. So it's the most useful language. I mean.
Yeah, I mean, almost 10 million people speak it, so you can quite a big thing, quite a big deal.
It's great. And every Swede is just happy to switch to English anyway, because it makes us feel like we're in a movie, which is more exciting than, live. And then we have Paolo. And you are from Evigt Mörker, aren't you?
Yeah, I think he is. Yep.
Yeah, so good to see you. I think you post a lot of good stuff there. Yeah, as people who follow my stream, I don't like talented people much because, I mean, I don't know why I'm hanging out with you guys either, because, I mean...
Well,
that's because we don't like talented hosts.
Yeah, well, yeah, then you come to the right place. But in any case, we love talent when we can sort of... It's like when you have this good friend or a few good friends that post a lot of memes that you can steal in order to look smart yourself. It's the same thing with talented people. You should keep them on a distance and then just steal, whatever good ideas or whatever comes out of them and pretend it's yours.
But isn't that why we're talking about music videos? So we can watch other talented people doing good shit because we can't.
True enough. And I always blame budget because, in the good old days, the budget for a music video on MTV was $50,000. Just imagine what sort of crazy shit you could do with that.
No.
It would. So, I mean, but we will talk about that a bit later. And then we have Druj Nazu, Hail Satan. Well, of course. Satan is ever-present, I think, backdrop to all our conversations. I think he nods happily because we are not doing God's work, at least not when we can help it.
At least not intentionally.
Exactly. And then we have Alex. Good to see you. And then Bin and Stitch, who shows up quite often. Much welcome as well. Okay. Also, and Patrick and Matthias. Alla ni är grymma, says Alex. It means that we're all awesome. Alex, that is a debatable point of view, but we thank you for it. And we sort of just, we just whore for it. And that's why we are online. Because
doesn't whoring mean that you gain money?
Oh, yeah. Fuck. Yeah. Well, there's always one exception to the rule, isn't it? So I don't know. Well, in any case,
we do it for the passion.
Yeah, the passion.
I mean, we're like the small village whore who's still a virgin because there's no one. You're too ugly.
Exactly. But our time will come.
Oh, I really hope so.
It will come. God damn it. And damn, we're gonna whore around. But that's why we picked the music industry because well, there's a lot of whoring going on, but not much cash. Well, that drifted away. But the truth of the matter is that what we will play now is a conversation we had a few weeks ago about videos, because we were not certain how to make it work. So we have sort of tried various stuffs. And we think we have a concept now that does work. Which means that next week we will do part 2, and we will do that live.
But I think we will be here on the chat though, so we will still see all of your negative comments of our stupid opinions.
Absolutely, so pest us with that, and also, I mean, not all people, most people actually, the huge majority watch this stuff afterwards. So then we can make a little, already now a disclaimer that I think the copyright bots of both Facebook and YouTube will cut this stream to pieces afterwards. So if it makes very little sense or if it seems chopped, it's not our fault. It's because copyright machinery has sort of slashed away at our beautiful creation. But it's how it is. Fuck it. We do it anyway.
Yep.
And we do it for the passion of music. So, I mean, now you get our opinion, extremely, extremely relevant, but still it's our opinion about a fair number of videos. And feel free to post whatever you feel or how whatever, if you agree or disagree. And all three of us will be in the chat for this session. And next week it will be part 2. And I think I already know a few of the videos that will be shown will most likely get my channel banned, which is, how it should be. So,
and that's also why we are choosing this video, so we can, make you not be able to do this anymore.
Exactly. So, I mean, every good thing must come to an end. So let's do it in the worst fashion ever, killed by ban bots of of YouTube and Facebook. What a way to go, right? But
and maybe depending on what the people say in the chat, if there's a particular video that they really want us to talk about next time, maybe we will. So just
great.
As far as I understood, the goal for next time would be to try and make this very same thing, but totally live.
Yeah.
We'll see if we can. There will be, of course, more fun.
If the sperm swamp gods will shine their shit upon us, it will be.
Well, we will find out. And there is only one way, and it's to bravely go where no sane person ever goes. And so here is to all the copyright shit. We do this because we think that these videos are worth talking about, and we're sorry if that breaches all the copyrights in the world. So fuck that. We do it anyway. Now we have started. So, good evening, lads. How are you doing?
Surviving barely, almost.
Well, yeah, it's the end of summer, whatever that means, starting autumn.
Which is good, so you can start living again.
Yeah, it's been warm. Walter, I guess you might have a different opinion about what's warm and stuff, but
yes, but it's been pretty right so far. We have been suffering a little bit. It's okay, or it's after 10 years, I've been starting to get a little bit Swedified.
Yeah, so
finally, so you can be a productive member of society.
Yeah, exactly. We also productive.
doing pretty good. Thanks again for having us. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I am starting to work, and I am not motivated because I'm working from home and I get 0 impressions. So if I have a bad day, it's a bad day, and if I have a good day, well, it's a good day, I suppose. It's a weird feeling, but
even limbo is a feeling, I guess.
I guess, and I mean, I think life. Have you guys seen the series Russian Doll?
I didn't watch the last episode for no reason at all.
Yeah, but don't watch it. You don't need that episode. But I mean, it's about this girl, and she dies, and life just starts over. I feel it's exactly like that. And every time you're like, now I'm going to improve a lot of stuff, but you don't. Every day just becomes the same.
Yeah, it's Groundhog Day,
Day.
but it's COVID days.
It is. Well, any case, it's good to have you guys back, and we got some people really enjoyed our lyric talk. Don't know why, but they did. Someone frowned and said that when we came to the conclusion that the singer is more important than lyric, we sort of betrayed the theme. But I still think it was a valid conclusion.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it hurts to admit it, but yeah, I guess the lyrics are usually not the most important thing, even though as a lyricist, you try to make it the most important thing.
I think it's subjective anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure, and I in fact know people that really, really cares more about lyrics. It really doesn't matter. There is a whole entire genres of music that don't care about the performance of the singer, rather, great lyrics.
Are you saying that Sperm Swamp are not taking the lyrics seriously?
I think that's we shouldn't talk about the absolute masters of Olympus when it comes. We are not worth yet.
No. I mean, we're mere mortals. And then you have the post-rock who sort of like skipped vocalists and lyricists altogether, which I can sympathize with that decision.
It's easier.
Yeah, I mean, of course it's less fun because if you don't have a vocalist, basically a band is fucking, it's just a bunch of instrument wankers. But sure, I can understand. Not everybody can take the level of awesomeness we bring to the table, I guess.
Yeah, and that's why you and I have took the best thing in life is not to be able to play any instrument. So we have to write.
Yeah, and we're not so good at that either, but we make many tries.
Even a monkey can write Shakespeare with enough time, so.
Exactly. That's the approach I'm going for, actually. And, exactly. Did you freeze there completely, Walter, or did you just enter a Zen mode?
There you go. I think
you just fell asleep.
Yeah. Well,
just fell asleep. At this age, it just happened. The momentary catalepsy.
Yeah, I understand.
You were channelizing the audience now. They're like,
oh fuck, yeah, these guys again. But we bring the awesomeness to the table to those who are brave enough to listen. And this time around, we're not fucking around. Well, we are, but we're gonna take on a completely another aspect of music, which is like the music video, whatever genre, whatever it is, and we're gonna approach it extremely unscientific. Not very scientifically. So we took a few videos each that we like, and we're gonna put them up there. We're gonna play a little bit, and due to copyright fuckery, we cannot play much. And but we'll have some sound, and then show a little bit of the images, and then talk about it and why we put it there. So
yeah,
I mean,
there's no maybe there's not a specific theme why we're choosing these. We're just choosing a couple of videos that for whatever reason we think there is maybe a nice backstory to, or we feel something, or maybe it's something to say. Yeah, or maybe this was the first black metal video, and and that engages you somehow. So.
Yeah, and when we have done this a few times, or maybe if we do this again, well, then we will also know what YouTube allows and doesn't allow, and then we can do them live. But this time around, we pre-record this. We'll be in the chat, most likely all of us, and ready to defend all of our great decisions, whatever. But this is pre-recorded, the video part. But anyhow, I think let's just jump into the water. We'll aim to do this for not too long, and we'll rather go back to this subject, because I mean there is
an endless ocean.
There's an endless ocean. if we do it like that, then
Yeah. You can just mute it or whatever. But
That works.
I did mute it, but it didn't mute for you guys. It just muted for me. Well,
Yeah.
awesome.
amazing.
Now it stopped. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, I stopped it and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So I picked Camphor with the Tornekat or whatever the fuck how you say it. And the reason why I picked this is, again, this is just what I believe, or for many people, when I say everyone needs some Isak in their musical life, a person who is so good at doing shit and who takes more or less no money to be able to create something.
Yeah, and yet Isak is the guy who made several Wormwood videos that are on a top-notch level.
Yeah, and I have no idea how much Camphor earned, but I'm pretty sure when I spoke to Isak and we watched this is a really, really expensive video. And this was made maybe 4 years ago or something. And I think this is from a person who they know, who loves the band or whatever. This is top-notch fucking graphics, and everything is so well done. There are so much details in this, and the song is amazing also. So,
the whole production is really good.
yeah. It really is. It's fucking stellar. And, of course, everything can be better if you, give it even more money. But this is, what you can do if you maybe know someone. Maybe they are fucking millionaires and this,
Yeah, maybe.
cost nothing. But, this is pretty... I watched this several times, and, of course, it helps that the song is really, really good. And it's just a very visceral video, that you have the Riders of the Apocalypse, you have the burnt baby Jesus, you have gluttony at the table with Jesus and his disciples, you have the devil with the flaming whip moved amazing, That's a really good detail also. And people just jumping off cliffs and burning, smoldering, hills of corpses. This has everything. This is it's just a really, really good video.
Like a visual pizza with everything.
Hey,
Oh,
are we already going there?
this is our thing now.
9. Would you? So I'm really not familiar that much with Camphor, and I've seen this video only once. Would you say that they are still an underground band when it comes to the spirit and maybe the budget, even maybe at the limit?
I mean,
what underground is, what they are.
I mean, if you look at the festivals for the past 4 years, you don't see Camphor that often.
No.
And if you do, it's usually maybe bigger, and then they are somewhere in the middle somewhere. They, as far as I know, they don't have like the higher tier of placement. So I think they have a solid name, but for whatever reason they feel still a bit underground. Maybe didn't they become famous of the old, wasn't it Camphor karaoke or something, where they were just grunting and the lyrics were jumping? This was like 10 something more years ago.
Don't remember.
But it was an old internet thing. But yeah, they feel underground, but they have such... They're so good, they don't deserve the underground, or wherever they are. They need to be bigger up, because if you can do this production,
But if a video is done right, that can be the impression that you get of a band. That, okay, these guys are pretty obscure, but they deserve to be more seen, more heard. It doesn't happen every time, because many times people make a video that just, sort of makes it evident where they belong. You have like 50 euros and you make a shitty video, and then you sort of just cement your place at this is not a top tier band. But sometimes bands can really be a bigger band when the video is done right. And there is some Isaac factor here, I'm sure of it, because there is no way in hell that they went to a VFX studio and said that, shit, we would like some really cool effects. We have this in mind. And they're like, okay, we do that for 5,000 Norwegian money. That's not going to, somebody has been working either that or it could be one in the band.
Yeah, again, so a big disclaimer.
We don't know them.
We have no fucking clue. Or at least I do have no clue. But it feels like this is some insider stuff. It's some Isaac-esque feeling with this.
And I really would like that Isaac watches this.
Oh, well, we will force him.
We will force him.
At least. And also what I think, there's many videos when they use lots of, blue screen and they're fucking visual effects everywhere, and it just feels so tacky. It feels so...
It can be extremely cringy.
Yeah. But this doesn't feel cringy for me. I'm sure there are people that will find this super cringy, but I don't. I think this feels sincere. Everything is dark, and it just doesn't feel as computerish as many other videos.
No, but it's also they don't try to make it look real either. There is a style to this. There's like an artistic vision.
Exactly, because they are at a place which doesn't exist.
No.
So therefore they don't need realism.
No, exactly. And I think that's also very clever, and also sets, a lot of the low budget videos, you really try to make it look Hollywood, but you're not, and you're then it's gonna fall
That's
short.
the biggest mistake, I think.
Yeah.
You have a low budget and you try to overdo everything.
Yeah. Keep it simple, or find a vision and go for that.
Act within the realm of the budget and presentation and what you want to convey,
Yeah.
I think I'm sure we can make a mathematical formula of this. Walter, your turn.
No, just
I think we will have a bunch of examples of videos from all tiers of budget today.
So, which surprisingly, it leads me to a video that I contributed, and I will now fuck things up. I fucked things up. I will unfuck it now, and I will put this next thing here.
Oh, I want an unfuck button. Chip.
So, this is obviously a video with a bigger production, but still an Isaac factor. But let's just start it and see. I will pause it not to kill you guys. Well, as everyone, of course, knows, that's Behemoth, and the pretty muscular video of Lucifer. I think there is an Isaac factor to this one too. Grupa 13, which made the video for Behemoth, it's a Polish production company, which first off makes them a little bit more approachable economic wise, but it's still not cheap. But they're way cheaper than if you would go to LA and find the same competence. But I don't know the personal relationship between them and Nurgle, but I'm pretty sure they like Nurgle and the stuff he does. So he got a price that I wouldn't get if I approached them. And they made one hell of a video, but with a very different angle than the Campfire one, because this one is more realistic, but also a little bit all over the place. There's a lot of different stuff put into it, but all of it, a horse with burning eyes, everyone needs one, obviously, and very it's so I think this video was what really introduced to me the fact that Behemoth decided to become something bigger than what they were before, which was more obscure underground band.
It kind of felt like they had a lightning bolt of artsiness that just struck them right in the forehead. And because I didn't really get the same artsiness before with Behemoth, it just happened, just before Satanist or something. They just became this entity of. They feel like going to Fotografiska when you see their stuff.
Yeah.
Which is a art gallery here in Stockholm. But they just live and breathe the art that they are, visually creating.
Yeah, and they also did the smart thing of making, getting the video banned. There is no better way of making people of the right target audience age to actually check it out, because if it's banned, it's got to be good. I would have done that.
Isn't that right, Doctor? I'm seeing into the future now, but yeah.
Well, also, I think it's impossible to have a discussion about videos, especially when it comes to metal, and not cite Behemoth.
No.
Starting from this one, and they nailed a series of amazing videos. The latest album has at least 2 songs with videos. Comes there.
The Dog God one, and then
Dog God, and then the other one, which are both fantastic.
Yeah,
same style, same vein. I'm not sure if the same company or not, but it's clearly a bunch of talented people, and of course there is more budget. But when it comes to extreme metal, I think they are among the best.
Visually.
Yeah, absolutely.
Visually, yes.
I think they have the same daringness that Marilyn Manson used to have, that, you just go all in with different artistic ideas that, in this case, it's not necessarily a coherent video. It's like art installations that are presented one after the other, and all of them being thought-provocative or, cool. Yeah. And also, I think, I don't remember if it's in this one, but there is like a pretty famous Polish actor in the video. So already then they sort of broke through the super underground level and sort of became this cultural institution in Poland. And of course, then you get more help from, awesome production people, because Grupa 13, they are really talented and they really can make shit happen that you don't see often in extreme metal, for sure.
Nephente, but don't you know that the more famous and more arts you become, the worse you become as a band, if you should read the internet?
But actually, I think I've wrote parts of that internet, because I've just realized I'm a hypocrite who don't like successful bands. But yeah, this is where if you're 17, I'm sure that applies. But if you're like,
but there are older, sadly enough, there are older people like, they're doing this. Why can't they, I don't know, fuck a tombstone or something in the forest, which is, which is good, of course.
Oh, of course. I mean, that's always the default ID, but sometimes you want to try something else.
I think that's how all Behemoth, brainstorming starts. Okay, we have a tombstone and we fuck it. What can we do more? And then you get the horse with the burning eyes, and
Yeah, and then at some point, Nurgle says, "Let's not do the tombstone this time either. We wait for that one." And Orion's like, "Yeah, okay, fuck it, yeah, sure." But and I mean, Behemoth are Nurgle is, of course, they're smart guys. They're aware that some people will remove the patch, but I don't. At some point, I guess that's the price you have to pay if you want to, proceed in your artistic vision. I guess.
Is there any band that has pleased the fans from start to end, except maybe Bolt Thrower?
That's a very good question. I think I was thinking about it today, that the Club 27 is a great club, because you never, if you die quickly, you don't have the chance to really fuck up your legacy, and also you die pretty beautifully. It's worth sticking around, because at some point you will Metallica your career. And yeah.
I think yes, the only two categories of band or artists that don't disappoint at certain point the fans is either Club 27, people that die immediately so they have time to release 1-2 things maximum, or is Bolt Thrower that made 7 albums which are pretty much the same album.
Yeah,
as much as I love them.
So are you saying that we failed by living?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Surviving comes with a huge risk of fucking up your legacy.
But back to the video. I think I mean, I'd say maybe last 5-6 videos or whatever Behemoth have done, they just really, you can feel it is a Behemoth video. And I think that is even more important maybe than how good the video is. If you can really find the
tone.
Yeah, the tone of a band in the video they're creating. I think that is maybe a bit more difficult than just creating a really nice video with, oh, it's a drone in a forest, but
Yeah.
I like those kind of videos too, but at least the Behemoth are doing their thing.
Absolutely. But it would also say that I think they might be still working with the same people, because I mean the producer, the director of the video really puts a lot of his trademark or her trademark into this stuff. So a long collaboration will certainly help to be coherent also, I think. But I don't know. I'm just guessing here. But they have their Isak team for sure. And this is
And
why
I just want to say that Isak's company is called Svartna. Svartna Film is the one that making the it's my plug for the evening. Svartna Film with Isak and Tobias.
Yeah, I expect that they will pay us 3 beers per video project that they get through this plug.
Oh yeah, I mean definitely, or else I will sue them for nothing.
Exactly.
I think you have a good case here.
We have a great case. But I think Behemoth are have such an impact that people are not. I mean, you can see people copying their video styles with various degrees of success, also, because it's not that easy to pull it off. You can put people in robes and make it noir, black and white and stuff. But fuck, it's copying is not the same as inventing this stuff, for sure. But this has been fairly recent videos, but I know that you, Walter, you put an older little thing into this.
Wait, is this the train arriving to the station from 1891?
Don't know. I will have to hide you guys.
Not that old.
I'm gonna hide you guys and put you back on the screen because this software is awesome.
And can you see if you can try to just mute the video afterwards?
I did that, but you still heard it, so it doesn't seem to work for you guys. But
mute it better next time.
I will definitely mute it much better.
Thank you.
See, there is like nothing I can do. I can do this. Oh, look at that video. All right, so with no further ado, we go actually further back into the realm of even that. It's like several days before yesterday.
Confront me, unholy one, bastard sin, God of the earth. I summon thee, now poison me, death of the will, burn of my soul.
Sorry. Oh well, you can't obviously mute it because it's only muted for me and the other listeners. But
I mean, we only landed on the moon in 1969, so why would you be able to mute a video now?
did we? There are skeptics out there, and now there's evidence that the technology is obviously not as advanced as it seems.
Wait, was that a Ylvis reference?
Yeah, it was actually. That's
Right.
Hey, yes, this video I pick because this is 93 and this is of course Morbid Angel with Rupture. I picked it because first of all I love this video, I love this band, I love this album, I love everything. And when I saw this video I was totally stunned because I never saw a video of an extreme band. I saw this video maybe in 95, 96, and the amount of videos of band that would do extreme music was extremely limited, on Viva or MTV Headbangers Ball.
Mm-hmm.
And they had a section called thrashing something. It was like some extreme band videos, very few, very limited. And this one was so much better than anything else. They had an actual director. They had a story, they had a vision, all this sepia color, they had a location. It's and the message of the video is great. It's being blinded by religion and with the excuse of being illuminated by faith, trapping people and just putting them into water, into suffering, into chains and stuff. Morbid Angel did everything before anyone else.
It is very raw and symbolic. I mean, and if we take the ones that we just saw with Kamfar and Behemoth, they are symbolic, but they are, you have Kamfar, which is more of a explosion of effects, but in a good way. Behemoth is an explosion of super artsy kind of stuff. Well, this is more raw. It's very raw, but still keeps the symbolic meaning behind it without losing anything.
I agree. Yes, it's pretty artsy, if you will, by considering all the times and
mind you, wasn't the first like real music video Thriller from 80 early?
Yeah, Michael Jackson. I think it was definitely one of the most major ones.
Yeah. So still, I mean, music videos has more or less only existed for like 10 years when this was made.
Yeah, more or less so. Because earlier than that,
on that one, audience.
Yeah, exactly. Make notes, because previously they were called like promotion videos, and they mainly showcased the band, standing or performing on some, 70s scene. So to start building stories and add other things than the expected, like TV performance, that is not so old when this video was done. And also, I mean, it's Morbid Angel at the very top of their game. Everything was right there.
It's pretty ballsy also. I mean, not that they really cared about what people, thought or anything, but it's still a pretty, visceral video.
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. And I as in a previous episode...
Just one note about this one. There is also another one from the same era, even before that, which is God of Emptiness. And it's a similar video.
Yeah.
In many aspects, it's very similar to this one. I believe it might be even the same director. So for anyone who wants to check it out, it's related to this one.
Yeah. And I think in those times, because this is shot not with digital cameras, I mean, they were expensive to make also.
Yes.
And I think in a previous episode, I spoke to Paris Mayhew, who did some videos around this era. And then the budget was about $50,000 for a video. But
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah. But then again, camera crews costed money. Film costed money. Editing costed at least $10,000 for a video.
You usually rented stuff also. You didn't really buy them because it was only big movie productions that could buy them. So you rented them. and they were like, you paid them per day or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
And for those who wanted to know more about that, check that episode out, because there are stories from those times. So on the paper, it looks like, fuck, they had like $50,000. Imagine what we could do with that today. But it's not really, you cannot transpone it. But what you did get, you got a good, sober cameraman. You got a good, sober light guy. You got a good, sober director. I mean, you had, well, at least...
But you get a sober band.
No, I don't know. Didn't they have catering? No, I think the band was strong. No, I'm kidding. In those days, people who showed up and did videos, they were professionals, and there were a team of them. So in that sense, you can expect good camera work and stuff. These days, we have the cameras and we have the IDs, but not always the professionals. This is where a guy like Isaac or Grupa 13, as soon as you take professionals and not, your kid brother to shoot it, of course there will be a difference.
And the big difference is, if you compare to what Morbid Angel did here with Rapture, like, you can make an amazing video with one person, and nothing else.
Nothing else.
Now in after 2014 and beyond. But at this time, what one person can do now required what they had in Rapture. They had maybe 3 camera people, and they were lighting and sound, and there were so much. It was a production. It was like people actually worked. This is not a person with a $900 drone, just buzzing around in the field.
Yeah, and also
it can look good, mind you.
It's fun. But I mean, these days, it was the same with an album. An album costed enormously much to make, but then there were fewer made, but all of them became better because you had professionals. These days, there is 1 million albums recorded. Most of them should never have been recorded. There is 1 million videos made. Most of them should never have been made. But in those days, also, you knew that you would get it up on MTV and everybody would see the shit. Today, if you're unlucky, 5,000 people will see your fucking effort. If you're lucky, 300 million or 1 billion people can see it. So the risk, everything has changed so much.
Even if you have a big production now, let's say that you have, many camera people, and, there is, you shoot for 4 days, and, there's lots of people. There's nothing that says that it will get more than 10,000 views on YouTube.
Exactly.
While, Morbid Angel, not that they thought they would be, the new Metallica, but they knew that, like, when this comes up, people will watch it, and we can expect a certain kind of reaction to this.
Fuck yeah. I mean, they knew it. I mean, everybody who was into metal, so nobody didn't see the new Morbid Angel when it came out, because it was on Headbangers Ball. And I mean, what if you could be sure that the next Wormwood video will be seen by every metalhead on the planet? Of course, you can risk a little bit more with that fucking video than you can now. I mean,
full frontal nudity, of course.
Of course. Yeah, but it goes without saying. I think the nudity aspect, they knew that in '93. There is always, it's. I don't know where I'm going with that comment.
But to go back to Rapture, you said about that this was the first extreme metal video that you saw. Do you remember? Did you?
Not the first metal video that I saw. It was the first extreme video which was done properly, like a real video, like a production.
Did you see this on like the TV, or did someone rip it like on a VHS or something?
MTV Headbangers Ball.
Oh,
yep.
And still, if you're going to make a video today, go back and watch what these guys did, because there you had the most seasoned camera people, steal whatever they did and try to do it today, or at least take some inspiration, because it's all out there. You don't have to wait until next Sunday and hopefully see this video. It's on fucking YouTube. Easy. because we are talkative fuckers, aren't we? So we'll be able to do a few more videos before we run out of time. But we'll be back.
No stress yet.
Yet. We'll find out when you leave. I will.
You will notice when I do this.
Exactly. That could be your cue.
And speaking of drones.
Wait for it. I heard that. Do you want to say any words before I push the almighty play button?
That I think most people haven't heard of this Icelandic band.
I have, and I really.
No, they're not most people.
Well, no, I really like them because I think they also have a signature visual, something there that is. I mean, it's not extremely. It's not super unexpected, but I haven't seen it before in their take. I think it's pretty cool.
I have good and bad things to say, and therein lies why I put this in. So
I will push on the red button here, and we'll see. Yep.
Yeah. So what I say, like now, one person, if they can do drone stuff, it will work. And this is where I am a bit ambivalent, but mostly it's in a positive way. I would not be surprised if this is one person and he has one other guy that helps him out a little bit. So if you have a good landscape, Iceland,
it's a good. I mean, you can always try to be Icelandic. It helps.
Yeah, I mean, if you would have drone footage of Denmark, it would just got blue screen and crash. But
exactly. Well, Denmark, it's impossible.
But yeah, so I mean, this is simple in the way that the nature is doing the talking here.
Yep.
There's no really difficult drone. I mean, there can be super advanced drone shots, depending on how the drone flies. But this is slow droning, is flying forward, going up and down and to the side, and then there are some pretty good facial expressions of the singer in the band doing his part of the story, and I think that's fine. Simple is fine, even though it kind of has the feeling of being a bigger video than it is. I guess it depends on if you're used to this kind of videos or if you're in the scene, that this is just a drone footage, one or two people, and that's it. But I like that you don't need much to do something really pretty. It doesn't need to be a super big production. Less is more, even if it looks big.
Yeah.
And also this nudist is really, really good. I can't say if they are famous or underrated because I have no idea. I barely spoken to people about this band, so I have no idea. Maybe they're the biggest band from Iceland now. I have no idea.
No, I don't think so, but they are up and coming, and they deserve to be. I think they bring something vital. I think his vocal style alone is pretty gutsy.
Yeah, because he does this howling, and then he does the ordinary black metal voice, and I think he does both really, really good.
Yeah.
And so I just wanted to show something that feels big, but it's easy in the technical sense if you're making videos, but it looks advanced.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. Strangely enough.
Exactly. I mean, why are we in agreement here?
Okay, I think I do.
Hey,
It's been good knowing you. I can only concur. I also say, I mean, it's not just a guy with a drone. It's also a guy who's been keying this stuff into a complete video that feels, it feels worked on. But it's not a huge production. But
especially when you watch the whole one, there is a story about this guy. Again, I haven't really read the lyrics. My Icelandic isn't, super good. Or, but yeah, is this guy walking and wailing contempt or sadness through the endless fields and glaciers of Iceland. And then in the end, he meets the rest of the band members that are supposed to symbolize something, and he's still very sad. But this is just simple modern metal videos, and I like it. I'm a sucker for these kind of videos.
I'm pretty happy you like it, because I've seen a video with a Swedish band called Wormwood where the different members are congregating in the end for some purpose. I don't know if you saw that video, but I actually like that one, and it's similar, but it's a very different nature setting.
Yeah, I mean, it has the same feeling of, it's a simple concept to film, but if you go to the lyrics and everything, there are details that will make it different. But
yeah, of course, but yes, from a surface level.
Yes,
but one can argue that it's probably done in the same way. Again, one guy with a drone, not to downplay at all. In fact,
no,
I think it's good that it can be done with one person.
Exactly, yes. So yes, there is the same concept in many videos that we have seen, and if there is somebody who has a vision and there is some little details and some work put in, it can be absolutely great.
Yeah, absolutely. But also already there, if you have a guy with a drone, you have more than most bands have had. So already there, I mean, and if he actually manages to fly the thing and actually capture the band at least somewhat, and
I mean, like, let's go back to '93 with Morbid Angel. Someone like, okay, I want an aerial shot here. They're like,
exactly,
sir,
that will be $10,000,
$50,000 a minute.
Exactly.
Let's do it.
Or the November Rain video where Slash is standing outside the church.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they had to have helicopters flying. I mean, these days, okay, but of course,
money wasn't an option for them.
But when you have a helicopter crew and a helicopter cameraman or whatever, he will at least, shoot Slash in the center of the frame. He knows that shit. But
yes.
But things have certainly changed.
For the better. I'm not saying for the better, maybe, but I like that it can still be done in this way. Simple, but pretty and bombastic, and feels maybe bigger than it is.
I agree, because modern technology, I mean, we can always say, oh, there are too many records released. I might have said that. There are too many videos released, yeah. But now it's up to the fans to actually decide what they like. Previously, it was a fat fuck at the record label who decided. And he or she, was fat and out of date. Out of, at some point, he's out of shape, but he's also, he doesn't get it anymore. Yeah. So I think this way is fairer, because this time now all IDs can at least be tried, and some will succeed.
And they're easier and cheaper to make if you have a grander idea, maybe, let's say, compared to '93 or something.
Absolutely. And also you can see, I'm not going to point any fingers, but there are some video directors, they can't fucking help themselves. There will be a bikini girl washing a car, no matter if you want it or it suits the music or whatever. They are around. And I think...
Nephente, are you talking about yourself?
I am talking about myself, but there are others also. So I think, in a way, this sort of... it removes some gatekeepers who just kept on doing their own same shit. And now it can flourish differently. So I think it's cool. But speaking about old school, I'm gonna do a switcheroo here.
Train arriving to the station.
Yeah, it's actually it's a beautiful woman taking Is it a bath or what? I don't remember. I will just switch you around. Yeah, fucking is. It is a winner. Actually, this is the first hard rock video that I saw that I'm aware of seeing. This is Wasp with I Wanna Be Somebody from 1984. And this is the typical example of what they did before they did, the thriller story-based video. Then you did like a promotion video. In this case, it's Wasp standing on their the stage that they're supposed to take on tour and showcasing, I guess, to fans, but also to promoters and others. This is the product you get if you hire these dangerous guys. So there's zero like storytelling here, but it's still fucking awesome.
But it became history.
It did, and ancient history, but still history. So let's see. I mean, it showcases that Chris Holmes can have a beer and play the guitar. It showcases that Blackie Lawless can cut his throat while still playing the bass. I mean, the talent they showcase is awesome. But I think it's funny because, first, of course, for me, it's very personal. This is the video that changed my life. This is why Netherbird exists. This is why I'm doing extreme metal, whatever, because this was what changed a 9-year-old me. But also, it was pretty typical for its time. You take the band there, they try to look as impressive as possible, but there's nothing much else going on. But the cost of making this video, I mean, it's a stage set, there's cameras, it's a lot of shit. So I had to put it in here.
Absolutely, that's a classic by all standards. And you're right, that's pretty much what was going on for all metal rock videos at the time. I might think maybe of Holy Diver.
Yeah,
they tried to have a story, right? There was this a bit cringy story going on. I mean, but there was very few that tried to do that. Maybe some Whitesnake. They also tried to do a film, a little small movie.
But it was still very early, Yeah.
Yes, and the rest was all like that.
Yeah.
Some better, some worse.
And also, it was always like the band was playing, and then you had the cringy story in between. So, like, Twisted Sister, you had this high school coach, and then it was the band, and then it was the coach, and then it was the band. So it was like two completely different stories that sort of only entwine a little bit, and almost always comical these days because it was so overplayed, and it was pretty much comedy, everything.
Yes.
I mean, but it still has, back then it had, it was a bit scary, it was new, and, you didn't really know what to feel. I'm not sure it was a promotion, but now it's still, so sure, it's a bit cringy, but it's also charming, that it still has the... Yeah. You can't really say anything bad about this.
No.
Because it means like, oh, the effects are bad. Well, because the effects they wanted didn't exist.
Exactly.
So it's still really good for what it is, which was really good at the time.
Yeah, and I mean, it also helps that the song is, I mean, these guys were fucking super professionals, and you can also see them even when performing. They've done this so many times before. This is not the first time they're in front of a camera or in front of a performance. They were already seasoned veterans when they did this video. And also what these videos do, if a video is successful, I think they launch an artist in your head. You get an idea what this artist is about if they are successful. And Wasp really they wanted people to think these are 4 fucking dangerous people. And I mean, in Sweden, the moral panic that erupted was enormous. So they really succeeded. And it's not really because, you know, the lyrics. I mean, I want to be somebody. That's not.
How dare you want to be somebody?
Of course, in Sweden, that is to curse. But
you don't do that in Sweden.
No, you don't.
And also just quick what they did here, like as you mentioned, that like he was cutting his throat while, you know, still playing the bass, and you know, all these things didn't matter. No. If you would do it now, if someone would do in a video, they're playing their music and they would do something where they're not told, it's like, well, wait a second, that is not how real music is played.
Exactly.
This can't be good.
Why isn't the bass connected? But I think the latest Necrophobic video, Mirror Black.
Are you talking about Immortal?
No, the latest Necrophobic video, Mirror Black. It's not so unlike this, because that is also like this more overpowered rock, hard rock video, and I like that because I think it will never grow old. When in doubt, well, play your fucking instrument and look cool while doing it. Then it will never really be awful, at least.
Yeah, it's like being on stage. If you fuck up with pathos and
exactly.
With fucking vindication, and you know, it doesn't matter.
Exactly. Fake it till you make it. And when in doubt, fuck the story and go for playing your instrument while trying to look as cool as you thought you would look when you were a kid.
The worst is when the band members try to be actors.
Yes.
And yes.
I mean,
we should make a whole episode about that.
I mean, acting, it is a profession. I mean, it's weird, but there are actually, you know, you can train to be an actor, and just because you're a really nice guy playing guitar doesn't necessarily mean that you have what it takes to captivate.
But hey, I'm famous.
Oh, well, of course.
I will just mention here my personal favorite, which is, of course, Bewitched with the Candlemas. When it comes
there's nothing wrong with that video. Doctor, what are you talking about?
No,
I'm
not being facetious. There is nothing wrong.
We could make like a 10-hour episodes of videos that don't really cut it for us. I think everything Iron Maiden ever did ends up in that category. It's not because they couldn't make it. It's just they never cared. They made more like playful shit, and that has never worked for me.
And I'm not sure how related, but you know, the first video Mayhem ever did wasn't that good. You know, they were a few decades too late. They made it for the Damon, whatever it's called, last year or this year.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, they made one music video. It was from the last album, and they shouldn't have made a video.
No, sometimes you don't have to. I mean, if you're Mayhem, you don't really have to spend that money.
Yeah. And also, they don't need to know what's cool.
No, and it's and I think no video is a much better choice than to, you know, for a high-profile band to release something that is just not working. Because all bands, when you're 14, you will record shit that you know is fucking embarrassing. I have videos that I'm not super proud of, also, but that's for a later episode. But I mean, sometimes your ID is a little bit bigger than your budget or your skills or whatever, and then you end up.
You have a drone.
Yeah, we didn't. I think that is where we went wrong.
That's the problem.
Yes. So I will now switch to something completely different.
Let's see what this might be.
I will now switcheroo a little bit.
To Björn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Look at me knowing shit.
So here we have a video. Walter, tell us.
I picked this video because it's absolutely impressive. This is Björk, Iceland again.
Yeah.
With All Is Full of Love. And this video is ancient. I will not tell when this is done.
Before its time, with effects and everything.
The video speaks for itself. It's a very simple, not simple video. I'm sorry. It's a very monothematic video. There is only one thing happening in this video, and the visuals are what all this video is about. Of course, this is not exactly extreme metal.
Well, it's not, but it's extreme because it's pure.
Can you please kick the doctor out of this chat, please?
Looking for a new healer.
Not from the directions you are staring at. Trust your head around. It's all around you. All is full of love.
I will see if I magically can make the video continue in edit later on, because I would really love that.
Yeah. So yes, you have seen just a little bit, but this video, I don't know if you have seen it before enough. I'm sure Nine did, because I might have played it for him. It's a very special, wonderful video. Of course, the production here is beyond whatever we talked about so far. But this video is from '97, I believe. So mid of the '90s, we have this. Those are all real robots built in real metal and plastic and parts. They are moving, and they are shot with a real camera and with a real crew in a real production. And there are also computer effects to superimpose Björk's face on them, and it's
Really
a bunch.
good to be 97.
To be 97, this is outstanding.
This is some Jurassic Park, fucking shit, really. I mean, compared to how important and how new it was.
Yeah.
Yes.
It looks incredible to this date. And
This has aged so well.
fuck
Remember
talented
that
people.
Birdemic came with it for the.
I mean, it's Westworld shit going on.
This was for shit 20 years before.
And I also think that it wasn't the uncanny valley, which when you saw, her face superimposed, it didn't feel. It wasn't the uncanny valley. It felt like, this is how it's supposed to look like.
But Björk is a fucking android also. I mean, she is otherworldly. And
that helps too.
I mean, she's just surreal, and she has always been like that. It was also in her previous band, Sugar Cubes, which was to my ear unlistenable. But already then, people who didn't give a fuck about how things were supposed to be done just did it differently and succeeded. It's incredibly cool.
Forever. Her first album was in the late 70s. That's a little known fact. Her first album was in the late 70s.
She was tiny, but
not shorter than you, but still pretty tiny.
Yeah, it's some people.
She's pure genius, and luckily she gained the popularity to be able to afford such a production.
And I think she will get also new boost now because I think there's a generation that do not know about her. I don't remember the director, but the guy who made The Witch and who made The Lighthouse, his new movie will feature Björk.
But she did Dancer in the Dark, right?
Sure, but that was also not the generation I was.
No,
but she was.
That's, how old is that? It's 15 years ago.
No, isn't that the late 90s?
Yeah, must be.
20-something years old.
So yes.
But since she's
time frame is a bit skewed.
Yeah, she's incredibly cool, and that's also like one of the old school artists that can do whatever, music, audiovisual, video, movies. I mean, what the fuck? I mean, how is it possible? But okay.
I mean, where would like Lady Gaga be if it wasn't for Madonna and Björk?
True enough. And where would Robin be without Björk, for instance? Yeah, it's
What?
but
Where would Björk be without Björk? Oh, Robin. Did you say Robin?
yeah, Robin.
Oh.
Where would I don't know where Björk would be without Björk, but we will never know because androids never die.
I think she would be a sprout.
Most likely, could be.
I
Really,
hope she will never die. That her brain would be just implanted into another android corpse skeleton.
I think it's.
She really feels like a person who lives in the wrong era or something.
She really does. Like an alien entity somehow. Yeah, so she's. It's one of these artists that I mean, you don't even have to like her shit to respect her. I mean, you.
But I think I remember the first time, Walter, where you showed me this video, and I'm sure that I've seen it before you showed me, but I never thought about it because it was so long time ago, and it doesn't feel like 97.
No.
That's what you said exactly.
Yeah,
I remember you saying, this is at least middle of 2000s. It's very cool, and then turns out it's 97,
But
and we were.
also, it helps that it are real machines. If it
Yes.
was digital, it would look a bit.
Absolutely, there was not enough technology to do such a thing in 97.
But like, if you compare superimpose face on her, and then you see iRobot with Will Smith, and they had a production value of I don't know, fucking Uganda's GDP, so
Yeah. But a shitty ID. But this is also what happens when people have they have an idea, a vision, and a person who can really take it all the way. Then the shit becomes timeless. What's dangerous is when people go to their label and say, we want the best computer animated shit that money can buy, because then you get Californication with Red Hot Chili Peppers, which wasn't even cool when it came out. It was like, but it looks like a shitty computer game.
Oh yeah, that one. It's like a worse qual. Was it Time Crisis, the really old one, or this is some old school game? But yeah, it didn't look good. It was so clunky and worthless.
I mean, it's like when people.
It's like the first Alone in the Dark. There we go.
Yeah, very much Alone in the Dark. It's like it worked with Money for Nothing with Dire Straits, because they deliberately make it.
Wasn't that the first CGI music video?
I think so.
Which was alongside the first. I think The Abyss with Ed Harris was one of the first. The use of the CGI kind of way that they did, in the mid 80s.
Yeah, and the Money for Nothing, it sort of had its revival in Minecraft, because all of a sudden that graphics became, but it was so deliberately done. But when you deliberately try to do, the coolest, Morbid Angel did this, I think, on a few other cover arts. It's fuck.
Yes.
I know it was coolly rendered.
Domination is the first one using that, and it's pretty cringy. Yes,
they don't age well.
Theory with Therion, best album cover ever.
But yeah, but at least the album. Yeah, I know. Don't do that. Actually, a shitty Polaroid photo will work much better than the best shit money can buy from a computer CGI guy, whatever.
96.
At least for the next 100 years.
But then again, we don't see the difference between the new Microsoft Flight Simulator and real life. So
true enough. But I guess if you're a pilot, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, it's true. But that's for another episode when we play Flight Simulator.
I am just happy that we went from Björk to Microsoft Flight Simulator. I think that's really.
Yeah, I think she's there now in her house in Iceland playing Microsoft,
or maybe still talking about the inside of television.
Could be. I'm gonna switch you guys around a little bit, and then we're gonna take the last here.
First of all, has anyone of you guys seen this?
I did. Oh, you showed me actually, and yes.
I haven't, because I am a goon. I'm well aware that I should check this band out much more, but I haven't. So now,
But a disclaimer: I don't like this band,
fair enough.
and I will tell you why. But again, these are visuals we're talking about,
Yeah.
and because they are artsy fartsy, and the name of the song, and they have different themes on all of their albums. But I will get to that.
Okay, so let's jump into it. I will magically make it continue.
I am just gonna do so I can charge my headset. Just give me a second.
I will briefly comment on this since I had the chance to watch this video before. This is an outstanding visually
Jesus Christ!
majestic and the art style and the perfection. Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah, it's all good.
It's very, very extremely well made.
I have to
I
say,
also
I'm impressed.
don't particularly like the band, but the video itself, it's so wonderful, especially when you think about the topic, which is the Cambrian, this ancient era where a lot of new life came into existence.
And
Yes.
it's just again, I am not that technical in how shot was made, but I'm pretty sure they have like a micro lens and they have a liquid, and they are just sprouting shit in different substances and try to mimic the creation of life when we were just a primordial pool of goo and shit. But it's just, again, the music is really not my thing, and that's not the point why I chose this. But this is just the kind of shit that I get onto. I think this is it's beautiful. It's you don't need to understand what happens. There's no story except, well, I'm sure there's a story, but the story because you can read the title of the song. But there's no narrative. You don't need to follow a certain person, or there are no drones over frozen lakes.
None.
These are just fucking liquid and goo and shit and micro lenses.
Who knew that you could be so poetic?
Thank you.
And also, this shows how much the video concept has developed from Wasp standing on our stage pretending to play, to promote whatever, to this is one way you can do it. Another way is the Björk thing. A third way is to do standing on Icelandic ice, and all of it being relevant when you do it right.
And also, unbeknownst to me, I didn't expect how different everything would be that we did choose, because we only linked what we would show, but there were no really connection through everything, which was quite poetic in a way. But it is just, I like how they can show a story without showing anything, by only knowing the name of the song.
Yeah. It looks
It's
absolutely
pretty
stunning.
difficult, in my opinion. So
Yeah, it looks really, really stunning. And the consensus I think that you can come to today is that if you have a great idea and a great execution, a lot of stuff can really work. This doesn't profile them as musicians, but they profile themselves as artists somehow other way, pretentious or whatever.
or whoever directed. I'm not sure if, because sure there was the band, or whoever in the band that created the story. Like, oh, now we need to this story. Like, this album is about the creation of the Earth. They have another one that is about all of the different eras through the Earth's lifespan, and another one is about all of the different names when going deeper down underwater, and they have songs about that. So everything's theme based and have these amazing cool names. Too bad that the band doesn't sound that good.
Well, you can't have everything.
I think there's one or two songs that I at least I'm not actively trying to hang myself when I listen to, but again, I like that I'm still what do you call it? I can still listen and see something without liking it, but appreciate what they're trying to convey.
Absolutely. And I mean, we are here talking about the ocean, a band on Metal Blade that none of us is actively listening to, but still their video makes us pay attention, and somebody else who listens to this stream might pick it up. So that is the power of a great video. It can actually it can hold its own ground if it's not shit, if it's not cringy.
Well, the one that we were about to show here was Knorkator with the Clone, which about the guy who fucks his own clone. But I felt, how much can you talk about that really? So
Well, we all dream about that. It's a dream scenario, but
but isn't fucking your own clone like having a child?
Maybe we should have the discussion in private.
Maybe this is for afterwards. But in truth, we've been speaking now for 78 minutes, and we come through half the videos we thought we're gonna at least.
Not surprised.
Me neither. But it also it gives me the delightful idea that we need to revisit this topic very soon and record a second part where we go through the rest of the songs, and we are still not even scratched the surface of all the interesting videos out there. But we need to do that fairly soon, I think.
And hopefully maybe next time, depending on how the internet treats us, it can be live, because it's always fun to have some interaction. But again, we can also do the interaction when it gets uploaded. So don't despair, listeners and watchers.
Because the problem is that the fucking copyright bots they don't like this type of cast. But we'll see where this one leads us, because there might be options where we can. We'll see where we end up, because I prefer it also to do it live, because we're not going to edit what we say anyway. So I prefer us three to be able to talk.
Yeah. And it would also be fun before people jump the gun and say something about the videos that we've shown. That I'm sure that the videos will be linked in the description. So please watch them. If you feel something, watch it and then comment, and then we can answer it, because there is a reason why we picked them, and maybe the first 20-40 seconds didn't convey what we really meant with the video. So watch the whole one, and I think the conversation will be much more interesting.
I agree. But I thank you guys for taking time and to share your passion this time for various video aspects, and it's always a great pleasure just hanging out.
Well, likewise, old wise Neph.
And see
My
you.
pleasure, absolutely.
And,
Thanks for having me.
and see you guys around very soon.